Recently, I was on TikTok and saw a video by Christian from Dodge's Wood and Iron. The video was of him finishing a Telecaster body that was in the shape of a Flying Vee. I reached out to him immediately and asked him if I could please buy it and produce a video for it. It showed up a couple of weeks later. I was really excited because this was going to be something really unusual for me. Christian described the body as a Sapele and Spanish cedar body with standard Tele sizing for bridge and neck and a Nashville pickup routing, all with a Strat style belly curve on the back. For me, this was going to be a challenging build for a few reasons. Number one, it had 3 Telecaster sized pickup routings. No pickguard exists for this guitar, and the selector switch was round and not as slotted like a Tele or a Strat, and this was going to be difficult because I needed probably at least 5 positions. The neck was designed for a Fender Ultra neck plate and not a standard Telecaster neck plate. I had never built a V-style guitar before. I set about designing what I wanted to put into the build, and I selected 3 Seymour Duncan pickups for the Tele. I tried to stay in the same manufacturers so I wouldn't have problems with matching. For the neck and the bridge, I selected a Seymour Duncan hot Tele pickup set, and for the middle position I selected a Seymour Duncan STHR-1 hot rails Tele pickup. All of these are basically designed to fit in a standard Telecaster route. Because this is a Flying Vee shaped guitar, it reminds me of the fins on late 50s and early 60 cars. I wanted the pickups to be really hot. I decided that I would not do anything advanced like push-pull pots for coil splitting on the middle pickup. I might do this later. Installing the pickups did not go as planned. The pickups I had did not fit properly on the pickup rings I had purchased. Instead, I mounted the neck and middle pickups like a 60s Telecaster custom neck pickup, where the spring is below the pickup and you use a wood screw to attach the pickup directly to the body in the routed cavity. To control all of this, I went with a new type of switch for me. I bought the Freeway Switch 6-position switch, and it basically offers a 6-position switch and a toggle platform. To use it is kind of like driving a manual shift car, 6 gears. The toggle moves side to side, and then each lane or side has 3 positions that correspond to a pickup configuration. They describe it as the Freeway Switch is a 6-position multifunction switch providing circuits for 3 pickup guitars. More on this later in the video, and also the circuit diagram I used. I used in the circuit 2 CTS 500K long shaft pots and a .047 capacitor for the circuit. For the bridge, I selected a 3-saddle Wilkinson bridge with 3 compensated brass saddles. I decided to use a really nice square neck for this build that I already had. I put a maple dowel in the top left hole. It would not be used in this build because of the Ultra hole patterns. I inserted the neck into the body's neck cavity, and then I drilled the new hole. I finished out my build with a black switch tip and black control knobs. I thought it just looked appropriate for the body shape of the guitar. Putting the circuit together was a challenge. The Freeway Switch is not the easiest switch to solder. It doesn't have little tabs. It just has flat places on the back of the switch that you're supposed to solder to. In the diagram it showed bridges or jumpers between multiple pins. When I experimented and tried to solder a solder bridge between pins, I could not get it to take, no matter what I did. I ended up using wires and solder between each point. The other thing I was worried about was a solder point touching an adjacent pin. It was really hard for me to see. When I was done soldering, I used a multimeter to see if I had shorts and was pleased to find that I did not. I ended up having to wear magnifying glasses so I could actually see the names on the pins that corresponded with the diagram and actually just see the back of the switch properly when I was soldering. It really made me feel old. In the end, it turned out much better than I expected and worked the first time I tested it with the pickups, so my confidence level went up a lot. I already have 2 builds planned where I'm using the same switch. Observations on the guitar. Flying Vee type guitars, to me, are difficult for me to hold in a sitting position. When playing this guitar, I find that I need to stand up. The guitar is much lighter than I expected. It comes in at 7 pounds, 1 ounce. There's so many different pickup sounds that come out of this guitar. 6 switch choice pickup configuration. The Freeway Switch is a little challenging as you have to learn by feeling what lane you're in, and then in your head assign that what pickup combination that gives you. This is a very cool looking guitar and very unique. I did Google to see if others have built a Flying Vee Telecaster, and I found a few, but it's not very common.